starts with breaking news.
That breaking news tonight, an LAPD officer involved in a crash in Willowbrook. I'm Kathy Vara in tonight for Carolyn, and that scene is still active as investigators process the crash. Eliana Moreno up at News Chopper 4. She has the very latest for us tonight. Eliana.
Kathy, this accident happened here at the intersection of Mona Boulevard and 124th Street in Willowbrook, and you can see the heavy damage to this patrol unit T-boned there at the end of a police pursuit. The officer inside taken to the hospital where his condition is unknown, and another person also taken to the hospital, likely the civilian that T-boned that officer. But this all started when LAPD units of the Southeast Division were in pursuit of a driver. After the accident occurred, that suspect just took off, and at this point it's unknown if he's in custody, and again it's unknown what that officer's condition may be, but the investigation continues here in Willowbrook. That's latest from News Chopper 4. I'm Eliana Moreno. Back to you in the studio.
And now we go to that scare in the air for Southwest passengers leaving Burbank. Flight 1496 took off just before noon today, heading to Las Vegas. But minutes later, passengers say the plane suddenly started to descend, injuring people. And tonight we're learning more about what happened during that rapid descent. NBC4's Macy Jenkins live with developing details and also what passengers are saying. Macy.
Hi, Kathy. Well, passengers on board were understandably very scared. They said it felt like they were in a free fall for about 10 seconds, long enough for them to think about the worst case scenario. A Friday flight to Las Vegas turns terrifying for passengers after a mid-air nosedive not long after taking off from Burbank Airport.
Are we about to crash? Are the engines failing? Like what is happening?
Brenda Friedman says it happened twice, back to back, just after the plane had reached 10,000 feet.
We were screaming. I remember looking out of the window and just seeing mountains, like not in the way that you expect to see mountains, but kind of like you're going down. Passenger
Steve Ulasowitz talked to NBC4 on the phone, recounting pilot's announcement about 3 minutes later.
I was like, sorry, folks. Had to make a little maneuver there to avoid a collision. It's like, are you serious? Like, we almost just died.
Friedman's mind immediately went to her 3 children.
I started recording messages to my kids because until he made that announcement, we just didn't know.
Ulasowitz describes seeing one of the 2 flight attendants treated for injuries.
She definitely looked disoriented. Her hair was kind of all messed up and frizzled. And then she was sat down in the front of the plane, and they gave her an ice pack to put on her head.
Southwest Airlines says the flight crew was required to make the 2 sharp dips to comply with 2 onboard traffic alerts. The flight continued, landing safely in Vegas to a round of applause. The pilot seen here checking on one flight attendant before she exited the plane. Former military and commercial pilot Ron Alvarado explains how pilots have to respond quickly to these types of alerts.
So when you get an RA, resolution alert, that is where the pilot has to take action, kick the autopilot off, and hand fly the jet to rapidly get it out of a path, a flight path that's going to interfere with another object in the airspace. A lot of people would call this a near-death experience. It could have been. If the pilots made the wrong decisions, anything could have happened.
Southwest says it's working with the FAA to, quote, further understand the circumstances. The FAA confirming earlier today that it is investigating this incident. Reporting live from Burbank Airport, Macy Jenkins, NBC4 News.
And developing tonight, we have an update on the explosion last week that killed 3 LA County deputies. Tonight, Sheriff Luna confirming they were killed by one of 2 grenades recovered in Santa Monica, and the second one is missing. NBC4's Robert Kovacic joining us in studio with more. Robert.
Kathy, let's go over that again. A stunning announcement and a stunning admission. Exactly 1 week after the deadliest day for the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department in more than 150 years. The device that killed 3 detectives has a twin, a missing twin.
They are mourned, they are remembered, and a grieving department tries to learn why 3 deputies were killed.
We need to know what happened. We owe it to the families. And For God's sake, I never want this to happen again.
Tonight, Sheriff Luna and the ATF sharing what they do know, starting with last Thursday in San